Hello everyone. So another video demonstration of something I just released 1 hour ago. So yeah, it was summer holidays, but back to work. So of course during summer with my colleague Simon, that also be a big shout out to Simon, that also a colleague of mine that he's on holidays now, but he has helped me to release also this solution I will present today. So the goal was really, let's say, since maybe you already know me, but I'm coming from mostly finance operation side of Dynamics, but sometimes, I do some kind of Power Platform or Dynamics CRM stuff. So in Dataverse, yes, of course. And my main point was always, to do good ALM stuff, I would say. So application lifecycle management. Just in order to be sure that, of course, each time create a new Power Apps for automate, a new table on Dataverse, blah, 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 it's always released correctly, automatically, without any manual action, like we often have done it like this. In fact, for the ERP side of Dynamics, it's always mandatory, in fact, to have a DevOps to release any kind of code automatically, to be really have a good quality process in terms of release management. So yeah, my side, I discovered, I think, CoE Starter Kit plus ALM Accelerator like long time ago, but still, I really wanted to go much deeper, I would say, or more automate. You will see in the demonstration, if I only stay on ALM Accelerator, which is good, it's a really good starter kit in order to activate DevOps, etc., to have a canvas application in which you can, saying that, okay, after deployment, my environment variable will be this value, and in production, it will be this value. This Power Automate, please activate it or not, in which order, what is the owner of the Power Automate flow, etc. You will see, if you don't know yet ALM Accelerator, part of the CoE Starter Kit, I will, of course, really suggest to discover it. Of course, I will also explain also in my article ALM Accelerator, what it is and how to install and configure it, and after what my solution will do and how to use it to go much deeper. Let's start. So, no, not this one, sorry. So yeah, of course, I have released the GitHub repository. So right now, I don't share yet the source code. So you will see that it will be a managed solution and it will be released here. Also, just after the video, I will release the first initial version in August 2024. And you can sponsor and buy me a coffee if you like this video or what I do every time. So yeah, in the GitHub repo, you will see, of course, the link of my article, the documentation, the wiki I will do, of course, the YouTube that you see right now. You can report any bug and request any future, because the goal is to have, more and more people using it. My side, in fact, at Danagil, we used, in fact, so we have built this solution in Danagil with Simon, my colleague, I explained before, in order, to be sure that we deliver correctly all kind of Power Platform stuff we do for each customer we have. And it was like a very good thing, I think, because, of course, what I built with this solution was really to be sure that my colleague or any people at Danagil, or including me, doesn't do anything wrong in terms of ALM process for Power Platform. And of course, I am lazy, as I said, so I don't want to do repetitive tasks over and over. And yeah, doing any kind of ALM process manually or directly in production, yeah, I've seen it. Some people are doing stuff directly in prod in Dataverse without any Git source control, without any pipeline checking, pull request, blah, blah, blah. It's really not best practice. Of course, as you know, it's the same thing for any kind of deployment, for website deployment, etc. Each time you need the CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, very good. Of course, now we are in 24, Microsoft I finally released something in standard, I would say, which is called pipelines in for platform, but it's only available for managed environment. So maybe you don't want to use managed environment. And also, yeah, it's not really good, as I said, because you have a lot of issue, I would say, in terms of which order I want to deploy solution. Because my side at an agile, and I think it's quite a good best practice, is often don't try to put every component on this one global solution. Sometimes you make, I would say, one solution per type of component. Like, I don't know, I make a solution in which I only have my model-driven app or my Canvas app, and one another dedicated only to automate flows, one only core model which have always all the schema, the metadata table, all tables, fields, option set, etc. So yeah, all those stuff are normally splitted. And sometimes, of course, there is some kind of dependency on each solution. So you need to be sure that, okay, I've made 3 solutions. I want that my solution is deployed at step by step, And also I made a kind of improvement, which you don't have with ALM Accelerator, because ALM Accelerator is always on demand. It's on the maker to say, I have finalized my development and ready to go. I commit my solution and I will deploy it. Of course, with it will be behind something happen we'll do in DevOps, of course, and some IT people will also approve pull requests, etc. So my goal for me was to say, oh yeah, okay, I'm part of a project which is we don't have any maker. Okay, it's a CRM project made by Danagil as a partner. We have made a lot of developments. Okay, we want to release it for customer automatically. Okay, so how we do that? So of course we suggest to install CoE Starter Kit and or ALM Accelerator. So be careful, of course, ALM Accelerator, it's mandatory in my solution because I am just on top of it. Okay, so you will see it's a prerequisites. And you also don't really need CoE Starter Kit. It's completely, it's another additional solution, ALM Accelerator. Sometimes some people just install a CoE Starter Kit because they think that ALM, it's more that, there is a dependency, but no, the 2 solutions you will need for my solution is really to install this one and ALM, okay? So I will release, I will try to release something new each month. So I will try to, let's say, to have a roadmap extra. Of course, you can request bug and a new feature. Of course, that's the purpose of GitHub for me. Right now, as I said, I don't release the source code, but of course, if some people here wants to contribute, I will happy to do it with some people. And of course, in this case, maybe after that, we will release also the source code to do social coding. But right now, only do the managed solution. I just made some kind of do like a wiki step-by-step process on how to install my solution, how to upgrade it, how to use it. But we will see it after in this video how to use it. In fact, that's the purpose. As I said, the roadmap, the contributing, the license, etc. Yeah. So the GitHub, I will put the link on the video, on the chat, on my article, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you will see the link on how to download it. Also, I will do an article, as usual, a long one, in which, as explained in my blog, I will put also the link, of course, on the video. But I wanted first to do this kind of video before releasing my article and also to release my GitHub solution. So the goal will be also on this article to explain a little more in deeper, step-by-step, more the ALM Accelerator, which, as I said, is mandatory and is the first step to use before installing my solution. Okay, so I will do that. So how to use the solution after it's installed? As explained, you will have to install the Center of Excellence Managed Solutions, the Creator Kit, first Creator Kit, second, the ALM Accelerator, and as I said, to configure ALM Accelerator, because after installation of ALM Accelerator, you need to configure something, of course, the DevOps organization, and all things needed. And after, you have the solution that I release. Okay. So the solution, you will have, in fact, after, so you need to install this solution on the same one in which you have installed ALM Accelerator, okay? So here, as you can see, I have already my ALM Accelerator already installed, okay? So I have in ALM Accelerator two things. I have the Canvas application and the module-driven app. So the module-driven app, for those that don't know ALM Accelerator, but again, I will not show that in my video. I will go to my solution only, but because there is a lot of video article also on the internet on what is ALM Accelerator, and they have made a lot of good documentation on how to install and configure it, if you like. But the model-driven app is just here to, let's say, to set up first time your DevOps organization, to initialize the project DevOps with all pipelines, etc., the repository in Git. But when you have done that, it's done. Fine, done it. After, you have to use a Canvas application, and you will still need to use it on my side. In top of my solution, you still need to say, I have made a new solution, and now I want to deliver it automatically. So first thing to do is to go to this Canvas application to select the right maker environment, okay? And after, you will see all your unmanaged solution by default, and you will need to select the right ALM profile you have created. So what is ALM profile for ALM Accelerator is to say, what is my DevOps organization? What is my project DevOps? What is a repository in which I want to push the code, the source code? And of course, what is my validation environment, test, and prod? So how it works with ALM Accelerator is every time you do a new development, it's first push into a validation environment, more like an integration build environment in which you try to test if the deployment is good. You don't have any error, dependency whatsoever. And when it's done, it's creating also a pull request that will push it to another branch, which is the same name branch as the solution, okay? And here it's the test environment. And for me, it's here where you say, okay, people, user, please try my development. Good, no, okay, we go to prod, okay? So right now, my solution will use exactly the same thing as ALM Accelerator. You will see after when I will use it. But you will still need to do it, okay? So this kind of step. So I don't replace ALM Accelerator. It's just another step forward, I would say. So you still need to assign your profile and also to configure deployment settings. So what is, if you don't know also this part for ALM Accelerator, what is configure deployment setting? For me, this is the best thing of the ALM Accelerator is this part is, okay, sometimes even if you deploy your solution manually in Dataverse, from dev to test to prod, the second part, which is taking a lot of time, so it is not the good best practice because, of course, you don't have a source control Git, you don't have a DevOps part, a release pipeline, release lifecycle part, step. But even if you don't want that, okay, the main problem is you will deploy through a user, okay, manually on the maker portal of Power Apps, and you will import a solution. And sometimes, flow will be assigned to the wrong owner. Also not the right order, or a lot of things like that. I can show you on an example. But my solution, in fact, the solution I released for you in the GitHub, I used, in fact, ALM Accelerator to, let's say, also so that my solution I released for you is also, through a good DevOps lifecycle. So whenever I will have a bug or an issue, change request to do for you, I will change it, of course, in my dev environment right now and release it through until main. And if it's main, it's here where I can say, okay, now I can do a release for you. So here, as an example, you can make the all correction references, the environment variable for you, okay? So as explained before, and the flow, okay, I want that this one will be activated, yes, no, etc. Okay, and which owner I have. If I have Canvas apps, I want that after deployment, my Canvas is shared to this kind of group, So all things we do normally manually, okay? ALM Accelerator help you to do that, okay? Even for pages, etc. So here, really, I don't replace that. You still need to do it, okay? But you do it, So every time a colleague of you have created a new environment variable, you need to be careful, of course, because you need to go to this Canvas apps and to say, okay, if I made this new environment variable, what will be the value for the target environment, okay? But it's here where I do more automation after is, okay, now when I have done it, done this kind of thing, as you can see, it's on your side manually by a click button, okay, to say, I want to commit my solution, okay, with a nuts, etc., create a new branch. For me, a maker branch is, it's not really simple for them. So yeah. So for me, it's really for pro developer on this part. But okay, I said I have finished. I want to go. I want okay to go to deploy. Okay, but as you can see, it's manual. Again, if I want to deploy from test to prod, etc., it's a manual thing. Okay, and even when you do that, so manually, you have to go to DevOps and sometimes to approve a pull request, etc., etc. So what I replace for me is globally after, you don't care about commit solution and deploy. Okay, you don't do it anymore through these canvas apps of ALM Accelerator. So with my solution on top of it, as explained, the only things you need still to do with ALM Accelerator is, of course, to use the model-driven app to set up the first time your DevOps, the initialization part, when it's a new project in which you install ALM Accelerator. After the canvas apps to, let's say, do the settings part of deployment settings and assign the right profile, okay? And that's it, finish. But I will show you how to use with a new solution. I will do an end-to-end example for you. But globally, after you can go to the new things I have created for you is a new model-driven app, which is called Automation ALM, that you can use, in fact, to, let's say, go, as explained, more in automation way, is you can have several deployments saying that, okay, this solution, I want to deliver it automatically without any manual action, okay, without the commit solution and without the deploy solution we just have seen before. So I can make an example here is, okay, I want to deliver it in test right away. So I select my dev, my automatic ALM, the solution in which order I want to deliver it, and I have also a tracking deployment here. So, of course, maybe it's not a good example here because you will say that, okay, I still need to do this kind of thing manually. But you do it one time, and in fact, you could also have, let's say, a trigger saying that every time something happens, or by a click button, I want to deliver it. Because if here I have to go to relaunch to launch the deployment end-to-end, okay? But when I click launch, it will commit and deploy on the same thing, without any manual action, okay? I can clone it if I like, okay? And the things, because I like automation, is after, if I like, I can create a new one, like this, saying that I don't want right away, but I want that you deploy it at tonight at 10 p.m., which is not supported by ALM Accelerator, okay? Which is still manual. You still need to do something, in fact. Here I can say, okay, at 10 p.m., I don't want to wake up, or 10 p.m., maybe a good example, but let's speak like, I don't know, like I want to deliver a solution tomorrow at 3 a.m. Hey, I can do that with that, okay? And the good part of it, and what I have done it also, you will see, is if there is an error, because sometimes there is an error, of course, of deployment, of course, if it's on your side, I just sent a mail to say, hey, you have a problem. But also, very important, maybe you have noticed that already, it happens a lot, in fact, is Microsoft pushed a lot of things, on your Dataverse, and you don't have any, I would say, blocking. You can't say to Microsoft, oh no, don't deploy any fix for me on my Dataverse environment, including prod, okay? So sometimes you deploy something and Microsoft is already trying to deploy it, and there is no like first in, first out things, is it will be blocked it will be blocked. You will have cannot start this operation because there is already something deploying in your environment. On my side, I've made like I'm scanning the DevOps, log error, and if I see that it's a Microsoft issue, because for me it's Microsoft issue, is they are currently deploying something and you want to deploy. So I've made like a retry process, okay, which you don't have with the ALM Accelerator, because the deploy solution we have seen before in the Canvas app. Yeah, if you click on it and something is already deploying by Microsoft, it will break. Okay, and again a manual action to retry, blah blah blah. Okay, so what you can do also, as explained, which is again manual in ALM Accelerator, is to say, okay, I want to deploy this solution. Okay. I want after to deploy this solution, etc., etc. And I will do, of course, a for each and deploy in the right order, step by step. And also, how I know that it's finished, of course, I'm scanning the DevOps again log to see, this one is finished, it's okay, I can go now to the next one, So dynamically, I'm checking if we are good to go and if we can deploy the next one, etc., etc. And I can launch it right now, and it will be in delay until tomorrow 3 a.m. And it will start really at this time. So this is, for me, very important. It's like if you are coming like me, as I said, more on the finance operation perspective, is exactly what we do in LCS still, from the point that LCS is still there. But it's here where you can say, like in DevOps, in fact, to say, okay, I start my build at this point of time and it will release it exactly at this point of time. So it's what I do, in fact. And for me, it's very important because sometimes, for Dataverse, for CRM project, or for platform project, sometimes you go to production and at 6 p.m. or during your working hours, you deploy something directly in prod. So it's not very good, of course. Normally, you should deploy whenever, of course, users are not connected, just in case. But what I do also is something quite very important, is another kind of type is scheduling. Of course, we are on CI/CD, so we should be able to say, test. I don't know if you are more on an agile project, you want to really going on each new things. You say, I do a sprint backlog on a CRM project each week. I have 2-3 developers, okay, working on the same development environment. They have DevOps. I could assign DevOps work item, because since I use DevOps as technical stuff to deploy with ALM Accelerator stuff, I can also use DevOps, in fact, to do assignment, roadmap, backlog, bug, change request. And when they are finished, in fact, you could say that each Friday, okay, so let's say each Friday night, so tomorrow it's Friday for me, and I would say, I don't know, at 10 p.m. each Friday and each week. So what is that? So sorry, I don't have done a very much more easier things to say, like in Power Automate, in Power Automate, as you know, you can do a recurrent stuff, you can select the day you want to deploy, etc. Here I had to do it. I've done it for you more in a way that I hope easy, but it's a format very well known. It's the same one as for each in the timeout. When you say Power Automate flow, when my for each or my do until, it's do until, sorry. On the do until, you have still a timeout just in case. It's by default, I think it's 1 day, if I'm not wrong. So it's like this, okay? 1 week, it's like this. One each hour, maybe it's not a good thing. You can eat like this. Every 12 hours, it's like this. Every 30 minutes, like this. So I made it. And if you don't put the right value, I have made some kind of regex to be sure that you don't feel something very not correct. So of course, let's say 1 week, as I explained. Okay. And after, exactly the same thing as before, I can set up things like this, each solution. I can show you how to do for standard model Power Pages. Okay. I can do it like this. I can say I want just Power Pages only. Those commit scope are the same one as we have seen before from the Canvas app of ALM Accelerator, the same thing. So I support all the same. I can say Power Pages only. Okay. And after I can say that's it, and I click launch. And again, it will wait until Friday because I said the first iteration will be this Friday. And after each week at the same time, 10 p.m. each Friday, it will release it. Okay, from dev to validation to test. Okay, what I do is also, but again, it's I think in my GitHub I already pushed something, some not really issue, but some question for you is right now what I do, because by default, ALM Accelerator will have it's a pull request, so you have a commit thing, you have an export solution from your dev, okay? After you have a temporary branches, I would say, development branches, and you will try, of course, to do a pull request to push from this development branch to the solution branch name for the until test. And right now I automate, the pull request. I say, okay, if the deployment will be good in validation, I auto approve the pull request and I auto merge your code from your development branch to the solution branch. Okay, and after you can go to test. Okay. What I don't do right now in my solution, because I wanted really to automate stuff as much as possible without any manual action. But still, maybe in the future in this solution, maybe I could have like an option saying that, okay, but for this solution, still I want that someone validates something, that the pull request is not automated, because right now it's not hard coded, but it's for all of them. It's really my solution. And you can still, of course, use the Canvas app plus mine. You can still use the ALM Accelerator process, in which you will not have, in fact, the automation as much as I has done it for you in my solution. But for other part, you could still use my solution if you really want to automate as much as you want. Okay. So I have not explained before, but of course you have some settings to do. You have to put here all your development environments. So I support multiple dev environments. Normally in a CRM project, I have seen a lot like this. And normally you don't have multiple one, but still, some large company or some customer I know in France that I have a lot of Dataverse. And yeah, you can have several one if you like, because as you can maybe know, but in the Canvas Canvas application of ALM Accelerator, you can select multiple, in fact, maker environment, and you can have also different ALM profile. Okay. Solution, of course, you need to put all your solution you have made, in fact, the solution of Dataverse, and Power Pages. Just a reminder here again. Here I support the Power Pages standard model, but maybe you know that for several months, I think now in Power Pages, when you create a new one, they are always by default now in enhanced model, which is not the same thing. You could you could migrate from standard model to enhanced model for Power Pages if you like. But for enhanced model, you just you can in fact now in a standard solution, in a normal Dataverse solution, you can add your Power Pages website on it, all components, okay? Not the standard one, okay? So of course, if you have a Power Pages enhanced model, you just put your component of your Power Pages inside a solution called, I don't know, Portal. And yes, if you have still from long time ago a standard model of Power Pages, it's here where you can put the name and do ALM Power Pages. Okay. So ALM of Power Pages is still a lot of debate and it's not very simple. but you have still some options to do to deploy as much as you can automation for pledges. And of course, here it's all my environment variable. So as explained, I have some of them that you can change. And by default, I try max 5 times. If I have an error, again, Microsoft error, if I have an error saying that you have missed dependency, or the Power Automate flow couldn't be activated because the owner is not the good one, or etc. etc. In this case, of course, I don't retry, and it will fail again. I can retry, but it will fail again and again. So yeah, it's only when Microsoft again push something on your environment, which is quite often. If you go to your Dataverse solution history, you will see that Microsoft pushed a lot of things each day globally. Of course, I put a notify email because maybe you work as a partner, and of course you will install ALM Accelerator, DevOps, and maybe this solution, I hope so, on the tenant of your customer, not the partner tenant. Okay, so in this case, of course, maybe they will create for you an account on their tenant, and maybe you will not have an email address, or you will not monitor each email address you have for each customer you have. So in this case, you can say, okay, still I can do a distribution list, say, like, I don't know, tech team of Danagil at danagil.fr or something like this, like a distribution list. And for each customer you have installed this stuff, each people will be notified if there is any kind of error. Okay, those three highlighted environment variable are: one is the approver ID, which that the user that will auto approve the pull request automatically in order again to automate as much as you can, and repository ID and build export ID. So those three, you have a dedicated for automate flow, which is called zero. Yeah, this one. So this one, I made it so that's the first one you need to activate when after installation. The one, because it will help you to fill those values, because otherwise it's quite complex. It's not very easy, I would say, to know what is the value to put here. Okay. So here, export ID, that's the pipeline ID of DevOps to export solution. So it's unique. And it's done, of course, whenever you will use the module-driven app of the ALM Accelerator that will initialize your project DevOps. Okay. It will create all the pipeline automatically. Okay. And those two, yeah, that's the ID I will give you when you will launch. So you can activate this flow and just launch, and you will have the free value to put. So when you will install for the first time my solution, you can leave it empty, those three first, and launch the flow after, retrieve the value, and put it after like this. Sorry, but by default, those one are, I'm using the system environment variable of Microsoft. By default, the view is like this. So I said to I don't know why Microsoft don't put on the default view just what is the definition name. I don't know why. Of course, I can't change it for you because it's a managed table. So that's why I would suggest, I think I put it in my GitHub, I suggest after installation, the first time, to create your own system view and maybe share it to everyone, and and to put the right, the right column you want, like the definition. And of course, here I'm putting, I have put in my filter, to just to have this, I don't know why, to have this one. Okay. Because of course my prefix is dinar, like Danagil _. And that's it. That's the only setup you need to do, really. Just 4 table. If you don't have properties, you don't use it, of course. All your solutions you want to deploy, all your dev environment you want to deploy. And as explained, when you create, as you can see, you select your dev environment and the LM profile. Of course, if you have several development environment and several deployment profile, so here really it's the same. That's not my table, and that's the one of ALM Accelerator. Again and again, I'm just on top of them. Okay. So I didn't want it to, in fact, to create another specific table just for my solution. Of course, since it's really related solution between each other, of course, I'm using the same one. You already have set up it in the Canvas app explained before. Okay. So really the ALM profile are really a table that saved the things you have created in the Canvas application of ALM Accelerator, saying that what is my validation environment, what is my UAT environment, what is my test environment, pre-prod, prod, blah, blah, blah. And when you do that, also you will create a lot of things in DevOps. Of course, the service connection name in order, of course, to have the ability to deploy from DevOps to Dataverse. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I'll do a quick example for you, end-to-end, a quick one. So I don't know. Maybe I will do really step by step if it was the first time I create a new solution. So I have installed the ALM Accelerator, as explained before. I have installed my solution, automation ALM. Okay, good. So let's say now I want to develop another thing, a new thing, okay, with a new solution. So I could create another one, test for. Okay, I select a publisher. Okay, unmanaged, of course, because I am on the dev environment. So I want maybe, I don't know, to say, I will create just very, quick thing. Huh? Let's say like this. Okay. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I will create like a choice. Yeah. Very dirty code. Okay, I have a choice. I have finished. Okay, that's the first time. The choice is here. Okay. So I finished. So what I need to do, because this is the first time I created this solution, I need again, as explained before, to use the Canvas app of ALM Accelerator. So normally I am on the good maker dev environment, okay, in which I have developed, explained before. As you can see, it's grayed out by default because it's a new one. So really I need to choose a profile and I can say, okay, I'm good to go. This is the same, I want to use the same one, the same target environment. Of course, again, explained before, I can create a new one if I like, ALM profile. If I have a different kind of superior target environment, which is not the same as the other one, okay? So you could have one dedicated global dev environment and release it to several each environment. Or even have a multiple dev environment and multiple test and prod environment. So I'm good to go. I can click save. I'm good. Perfect. It's selected. And what I need to do right now is just, as I explained before, to go to configure deployment settings. So here, it's very important. It's really to say, I just made just a choice on my solution, so it's not a complex one. But here I have to say, okay, what if I want to upgrade it or not, etc., etc. Okay, so I need to go to each environment. So it's upgrade, prod, etc. So you just do it one time. You click save and close, and that's it. Normally, after I'm good to go, I can go now to my model-driven app, to the one I have made for it. I made it for you. Sorry. So just I can click again, maybe just to double check that it has been really well created. Normally, yes, but I just want to make sure. Our pages, yes. Okay. Our pages, yeah, all good. Now it's all good. So really now I can go to my module-driven app because I have created a new one. So of course I need to create it for here. Since I have created the solution on the same dev environment, the dev one I have, so I don't need to change anything. And I can say now, let's go. S4 only. My unique dev is that the same one, yes, same profile, the same one as explained before, right away, because I don't want to wait. I just need my test 4 only. Solution and settings, I want everything. And right launch. And that's it. So normally in a few seconds, so I can delete this one I have created before the scheduling. So it's in draft. It will go to in progress in a few seconds. Yeah, in progress. So normally if I go to my DevOps, yeah, if I go there, I should have export solution. So it's really triggered automatically. So as explained before, if you really don't know much more DevOps or ALM Accelerator, really I'm using the same things behind the scene on DevOps part, which normally is done into the Canvas app. But here I have you will see, I'm as explained before, right now I don't share my source code behind as an unmanaged solution. But again, on my GitHub, I explain if you want to contribute, helping a lot or adding new features, we'll be happy to support that. And after that, maybe I can share the source code also on the GitHub. But globally, there is, I think, there are, all the intelligence are there. Because their model-driven app is really just to create something, an app just to configure stuff, but the intelligence are here. It's here where I created all automation things behind the scene. I'm just using free reference, connection reference, of course, the DevOps, Dataverse, and the main for the notification. And the Power Automate flow, just again, maybe after installation of my solution, it could be, and it will be, I think, all that. Of course, all of them will be off. Of course, you need to activate it, all of them, and it's on the order by. You need to first activate the helper, the child flow, and at the end, that's the two main ones that are here, the 10. Okay, because I've made a lot of child flow, so yeah, really. So still, even if I don't release unmanaged thing. Of course, I will suggest that to avoid to change the automate in a managed solution because you will have another layering, a layer on top of it. So if after I release an upgrade version, if you upgrade, the unmanaged flow will be always much, you will not have my change deploy and the right version. So yeah, maybe we will not wait. So it's the very straightforward stuff. So after you have the export, you have the validation deployment with the pull request. So as I can show it for you, is this one. So this is a pull request I create automatically. So here the pull request is normally done manually through, again, the Canvas apps of ALM Accelerator. Here on my side, I just automate the pull request to auto-merge the code, as you can see, and auto-complete everything. I also do one thing you don't have in the Canvas app is to clean up things, because at each time you do a commit solution, you will create a new development branch. But, after maybe 10, 20 times, you have a lot of old development branch. So whenever the dev branch has been merged into the solution branch name, which is this solution branch name is a one dedicated for test deployment. We don't need it anymore. Okay, so I erase everything like this. But here, of course, which is if you don't know ALM Accelerator, but really this part is not me. It's DevOps, so of course it's Git source version control. So of course it's a best practice because here, as you can see really the change. All the source code are outside of your dev environment, okay? So you don't lose everything, just in case. And also, if you collaborate together to the same object, extra multiple developer, it will help a lot, in fact. So really you can see And what I do, of course, is whenever after the pull request for production is to create automatically the pull request from automation ALM. Like me, I have, if I go back again, this one, of course, I automatic ALM, so my test solution branch name into main, of course, main prod. And it will release things automatically in prod. So really, I would say that if to summarize before closing this video and finish, is really, if you choose right away, is with my solution, of course, you still need to do a manual action on demand, like if you were doing it in the Canvas app of ALM Accelerator. But what I also do that you don't have in ALM Accelerator, as explained before, is the retry action. It will do, if you pick validations and tests, it will do automatically for you the commit plus deploy automatically that you need to do several times. Also, again, the difference between ALM Accelerator and me is if you pick right away, as I explained before, you can have several order solutions. Okay, if you just do it only through ALM Accelerator, you need to commit, wait. After you go deploy, okay. After you go the other solution, commit, deploy, etc. Here, my side, that you just create one thing, you set up everything, you click launch, and that's it. Until test, you are good to go. Okay. Of course, you need another one dedicated to prod. Okay. So I don't have done the right now. Maybe it's a good feature, change request. Maybe you can create it for you, create in GitHub. If you like, is maybe to have like another delivery type, we could be validation. So from dev to prod, end to end completely. So of course, right now I'm waiting that all things have been deployed in test, and you have another one dedicated for prod. Okay. And explain, and the two things you really don't have in Canvas apps, again, is a overtype, which is not right away, is on demand plus scheduling. Okay. And here, of course, the good part is but you can set up it like now at 2 p.m. I want to deliver it really at 10. Okay. So yeah, quite good. Again, you have a model-driven app, and Pro Apps application, mobile application. So even if you could create those stuff, okay, keep it in draft, so you don't click launch it on your desktop, on your desktop laptop, and you can take some beer and just grab your phone, you connect to the module-driven app with your mobile and launch, and that's it. So yeah, I'm quite lazy, and I really wanted, in fact, so maybe, my solution, you still need the ALM Accelerator, so I know that a lot of people don't use the ALM Accelerator, but for me, I think my solution is good if you already have the ALM Accelerator for a long time. If you are new in DevOps lifecycle part and you want to discover ALM Accelerator, which is still very important, because I think for me, you really need to have a good, proper way and a quality, rigorous deployment process, even in Power Platform, even if it's low code, no code, it's still development. Okay, so you still need, and I've seen a lot of video events, demonstration from MVP or non-MVP, but on governance. Each time I do a Power Platform French Summit, there is a lot of session on governance, how to, let's say, going further with Power Platform. I have 100 makers creating a lot of Power Apps Canvas. You, as a IT, as a pro dev, you need to make sure that, still, if it's low code, no code, it's a development. Okay, so we need to be sure that it's delivered automatically. Okay. So it's here where the ALM Accelerator for me is really great, in top of DevOps. And again, now with this solution I just released for you, it's another layer to go again much more faster in terms of deployment. So you can focus on another stuff than just release stuff. Okay. So hope you have enjoyed this. So yeah, I will after do my article, and again, don't forget to follow my GitHub, to put your question on the discussion tab. You have also a project to see the roadmap as explained. I will fill and put a wiki for all documentation, issue if you like to request things new or a bug, because maybe there is a bug. We have with Simon, again, thanks to him, my colleague, we have tested a lot, in fact, with an internal project at Agile, in which even if it was like not, I would say it was an internal project in which we have used customer service, and really we wanted to yeah, we don't have done a lot of extension, I think, but well, maybe I'm not aware of what have been done there concretely, but I know I said, okay, now we really need, even internally as a partner, it's an internal tool, we still need to have a proper CI/CD stuff. So of course we have used ALM Accelerator, and I said, okay, but still, if we change something on the Power Pages, or we change, we add a new field, etc., we need to be sure that, okay, it's an internal project, so we don't have to waste time to, to take a lot of time to deploy things. But still, we need the DevOps to be sure that we still have the source code and so yeah. And again, for other project we release, it's it's often like this, where we really need to be sure that yeah. So issue, yeah, you can create issue if you like. I put it some milestone, because again, I will try to push each new release each month, like the ALM Accelerator. In fact, ALM Accelerator, just for you, if I don't know if you know that, is CoE Starter Kit. They try really to release a version each month, if I'm not wrong. But the ALM Accelerator, sometimes it's not exactly like this. I think the last release was in March of this year. So yeah. So I've tried, in fact, my solution in top of ALM Accelerator again and again, sorry, to this latest release of March 2024, but also some some of them that were of last year, of 2023. So yeah. But still, I didn't change, in fact, the ALM Accelerator. And just it's just another layer with a lot of new flow to trigger things on DevOps. So now I know very well the API of DevOps, because since I used a lot in the Power Automate flow I have built for you, so quite good API, in fact. So yeah. So that's it. And yeah, hope you will like the solution. And that will help you, in fact, to automate as much as you can, and doing a very good ALM process. I know that there is also other things than DevOps. Some of them are using GitHub to release stuff from GitHub to Power Platform, to Dataverse. So yeah, you have several options in the world of Power Platform of ALM, but yeah, myself, I'm still using a lot DevOps on project, because I'm explained as a DevOps finance operation background. It was mandatory to use DevOps. I'm trying right now also to see in the future if we could use GitHub also for finance operation, because there is, as you know, a convergence. LCS will disappear. We will go to PPAC again, even for ERP. So maybe it will be possible also to switch to GitHub, to have another possibility rather than only DevOps for finance operation. What I wanted to say that is, I think also I have made this solution because I know, again, because I'm more an FNO guy normally, is I know a lot of FNO people that want now to use Power Platform, which is good, to make Power Apps on top of FNO, Power Automate, etc. Or virtual entity, you have virtual table, all those stuff, you need to put it in a solution, in a unmanaged, when you do such things. And again, you need to put, like DevOps, you need to do it, deployment, like you do for FNO, even if it's just, I don't know, I just make a quick example before closing this session. Demonstration is, I've seen a lot of projects in which you do a lot of X++ development for FNO. So you have DevOps, of course, because it's mandatory. So, okay, all good until prod, all perfect. And for Power Platform, we have a new requirement. Let's build a quick automate flow, okay, or something like that. And you do it directly in a Dataverse. Sometimes the default Dataverse. Yeah, I have seen it. Not the good one, the production or dev. And yeah, this Power Automate should be in a solution and also follow the same process. Okay. So really, I've seen a lot of projects in which at the end, you could have X++ development deployed through DevOps and a solution in which maybe you have made some customization on the Dataverse, you have added new table, you have some virtual table coming from FNO on it, and also you want to deliver it and activate it automatically, and you have made some automate. So all the things are called unified deployable package, and it will be also a good enhancement in the future. So yeah. So really, the solution is made for everyone, and with other backgrounds and only coming only from Power Platform. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. Till the next time. See you.